Hello everybody, good evening and welcome to That's Football. It's Real Madrid versus Chelsea in the Champions League. I hope you're all doing very well. I'm looking forward to this one tonight. It's a remarkable story really, isn't it? Real Madrid are just absolutely incredible. They go together like, if I could do that song from Greece, so yeah, they're just incredible, Real Madrid. But then I look at this Chelsea side and I just think, I don't get it. I just don't get it. They've got decent players. I don't think it's as easy as saying, oh, Real Madrid are going to batter Chelsea, because when you look at the teams, they're decent. You know, they are decent. But as we know, Chelsea are a laughingstock. I saw a clip of Todd Boehly, the owner of Chelsea, today, saying that was something like a 3-0 win. So I just don't know what that's all about. I don't know what that's all about. Let me just sort that font out on Real Madrid because it looks horrific. Chelsea's looking good. Let's just pause it on that for the moment. Yeah, but yeah, I think that I think it's fair to say that Chelsea have got a good side, but ridiculously bad management. Let's go through the two teams for you anyway. So we've got Real Madrid, the holders, the favourites, lining up with Courtois, Carvajal, Militao, Alaba, Camavinga, Valverde, Kroos, Modric, Rodrigo, Benzema and Vinicius Jr. Pretty much their strongest side. They still have Eden Hazard, he's on the bench for them. Asensio's still there as well. Rudiger's on the bench, which is interesting. Tchouameni on the bench as well. And then Chelsea, Kepa in goal, Fofana, Silva, Koulibaly, James and Chilwell, and then Kante, Fernandes, Kovacic, Sterling and João Felix. I mean, you look at that Chelsea side, and as I say, on paper, it's a very strong side, but it's managed by Frank Lampard. And he's just not a good coach. I don't care what anybody says. I just don't think he's a very good coach. And I know he's a legend of Chelsea and they want him to do really well, but it's the same thing we had with Solskjaer. Legend of the club, no better than a standard League One coach. And Lampard is massively over-promoted. I don't know why. I do know why. Chelsea did this because they wanted a feel-good factor. They'd have been better off sticking with Potter. I don't think they were necessarily going to beat Real Madrid anyway. But, yeah, it's an odd appointment, really. But, you know, maybe it's all they could do. And I certainly don't think he'll be their manager next year anyway. So, for Chelsea, I don't think there's a Chelsea fan out there that thinks they're going to get a result tonight. I don't think there's a Chelsea fan out there that thinks that they can win over two legs against Real Madrid. I think everybody expects it's going to be a Man City versus Real Madrid semi-final in a few weeks' time. But as with anything in football, you know, I remember Wimbledon in 1988 in the FA Cup final. Dave Besson, Liverpool, they beat them. So anything is always possible. And I think that from Chelsea's point of view, when you look at that starting 11, there's some bloody good players in there, but can they click? Christian says, hi Mark, I love the content. Happen to think about Liverpool's form this season and can't help to think about where they would be with Diaz or how much better Nunez would be doing. I think Luis Diaz has been a big miss for Liverpool, yes. I've mentioned it a few times and yeah. Abdul says, Lampard is a terrible coach, living off his name like Ollie did at United. Todd Boehly said Chelsea will win 3-0, says Shivan. And Mark, even if we get taken over in June, don't you still think we can have a good summer considering the amount of options there are, says Everything Product Reviews. Well, there is a lot of options out there, but you won't get your first, second and third option, will you? Because they'll already be gone. When's the next Cooking with Goldbridge, Mark? And I hope you're doing well, says Kenzie. The next time I do Cooking with Goldbridge will be when I have some bloody time to do it. Yeah, Blake, I'm not going to spell that for you because it's rude. Also, another super chat coming in from Kenzie. We've done that one. Score predictions. I don't think it will be as severe as some people want it to be or think it will be. I don't think that Chelsea are going to get battered here. I actually think a good result for Chelsea would be anything that's not more than 2-goal loss. So I think even 2-0 loss gives Chelsea a chance at Stamford Bridge. When you're at home in the second leg, you've always got a chance. Now, you compare that to the match we watched last night, I don't think Bayern have got a chance anymore because I think Man City are too good, and I think 3-0, you're not coming back from that. But you have got a crowd against you. Now, if Chelsea take a 2-0 loss to London next week, I think that's turnaroundable if Real Madrid have a bad night and Chelsea have a good one. So, look, Chelsea's job here, I mean, if they can win, miraculous. If they can get a draw, stupendous. But if they can only lose by 1 goal, got a big chance next week. Spencer says, most underrated and overrated player at Chelsea. Underrated, I have always felt that players like Kovacic are massively underrated. Overrated, he's not playing. Havertz, I think, is overrated. I thought he was a good signing, but I think he's massively overrated. I think if he was, I'm trying to think of somebody. I don't think he's any better than well, I nearly said somebody I can't say there actually because they haven't played in a while. I don't think Havertz is any better. I think James Maddison's better than Havertz. Let's put it that way. Wednesday, I've done that one. Thank you very much for the super chats that are coming in early. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you. No, it wasn't Mason Greenwood. It was the Everton number 10. Havertz should stay in the Bundesliga, says Fries. I mean, somebody will take Havertz, but I don't massively rate him. He's not as bad as Weghorst. No, I'm not saying he's rubbish. We're saying he's overrated. See, people get very sensitive, don't they? Like, we're not saying they're rubbish. We're just saying they're overrated, and. Yeah, I think they are a little bit overrated. But players are coming out to the pitch here. We are going to be keeping an eye on AC Milan against Napoli. Now, many people expect Napoli to be the dominant force. And that's just reminded me. Where the bloody hell is it? Oh, I don't even know where it is. That's really frustrating. Yeah, a lot of people think that... Oh, there it is. I think a lot of people think that Napoli will beat AC Milan. I don't. I think that 4-0 to AC Milan a couple of weeks ago in Serie A, I think it could be a really interesting tie. Kovacic is both better than Kante and Enzo, says Los Blancos. I bet that's not even charged now. No, that doesn't matter. Forget that. There's another way. But yeah, so Napoli, look, we could get 2 shocks tonight. We could get Milan beat Napoli. We could get Chelsea beat Real Madrid. But let's see how it works out. Thoughts on Mane punching Sane, says Fries. I'm not massively that bothered. I mean, I'm sure you've all played. I've played the game. You know, I've seen people punching people on the same team before. Happens a lot in amateur football, or it used to happen. People get frustrated. Imagine how Felix would have transformed United, says Miguel. Havertz reminds me of Dele Alli, says Corrupt. I wouldn't go that far, but yeah. Trent's the next Dele Alli, says Sinkings. And Mark, 3-0. Chelsea have scored 29 goals all season in all competitions, says Aaron Smith. Scoring goals is Chelsea's problem, as Aaron says. It's been a massive problem for them. And I think, tonight might not be any different. But I do feel at some point, I watched Chelsea against Wolves and they didn't create much. But I do think at some point there will be a scenario where Chelsea catch it in a very, very big way, and I think that they will score some goals. But whether it's going to be tonight, I don't know. I don't really know. Real Madrid had a good result, didn't they, last week in the Copa del Rey? So, Cup of Ray in English. But yeah, do you think if United signed Felix, we would have been in a title race, says Alex? No, I don't think one player makes a big difference. Look at Lampard, he's just happy to be here. Hugging Ancelotti. Can I have a picture for my Instagram? My wife loves you. She does the one show. Well, she used to. She doesn't do it anymore. I can't believe I'm here, Carlo. I can't believe it. Last week, I was just sat playing FIFA, and I got a phone call saying, do you want to manage Chelsea again? I thought, you know what, I've made enough of money out of management. I couldn't believe it. Everton gave me a job. I don't know what I'm doing, Carlo. I ain't got a bloody clue. But you know what? I thought, sod it. I'm not doing anything till June. And I'll probably get a job next season now off the back of this. There'll be some mug Premier League club that will give me... I mean, they'll probably give me the England job if Southgate leaves. I thought I'll have a bit of that. I'll have a bit of that, Carlo. I'll have a bit of that. apples and pears and skin and blister. One up the bum, no harm done. Have it. So there we go. Actually, that last one's not Cockney slang, is it? That's just something I heard on The Office. But yeah, it's amazing that Frank Lampard's managing Chelsea. And could we get what a stadium it is, by the way? Could we get an amazing shock that football can deliver? I don't know. Let's wait and see. Nothing surprises me in football. I would not be surprised if we saw a big win for Real Madrid tonight. But on the other hand, I wouldn't be surprised if Chelsea got something, because I do really think that Chelsea side has got something in it. Lampard was an exceptional player, but as a manager, I would put Ollie ahead of him, and Chelsea fans are acting as it's the second coming of Jesus Christ, Jack. It's because they love him. If I can explain to somebody, because my dad supports Chelsea, and I haven't spoke to him in ages, so I don't know what he thinks about that, really. But no, I know a few Chelsea fans as well, and it's a little bit like Gerrard getting the Liverpool job. I think Liverpool fans would just ignore the fact that he's not very good, because it's Gerrard managing the Liverpool job. And look, it's only a short-term thing. So imagine if Klopp walked out on Liverpool tomorrow, and Liverpool said they're going to do a big search for a manager in the summer, Nagelsmann and all these big names, but for the next few weeks, Stevie G's coming back to steady the ship. The fans would bloody love it. We did it with Ryan Giggs when David Moyes got the sack. Nobody moaned about it, but he was rubbish. So, a lot of clubs do it. I know it's a stretch, but what does Todd do if Lampard wins the Champions League, says Dan? Scary thing for Chelsea fans if Lampard was to win the Champions League with Chelsea, he'd probably get a 20-year contract. I mean, you give 7 years and 8 years to your players, he would 100% keep him. I don't think Bowley knows a lot about football, really, which people get quite xenophobic about it because he's American, but I don't think there's many owners of football clubs who do know what they're on about. I don't think Man City's owners know a lot about football. They just recruit the right people who tell them what to do. I don't think, the owners of Man City were sat there playing Sabutio when they were 8 years of age, or championship manager or anything like that. I think they're multi-billionaires who just wanted a football club. But what they do well is they recruit people who do know what they're on about. Unfortunately, at Chelsea, I don't think they've got to the point where they have recruited the people who know what they're doing yet. So I think it's all over the place. So I think if Lampard did win the Champions League with Chelsea, he'd probably get a lifetime contract from Todd Bowley, to be honest with you. The Glazers are a prime example of not knowing what they're on about as well. Napoli have nearly scored already, says the Funny Clips. Thanks for the updates there. Skelly just missed the sitter. Well, we'll keep an eye on that, but we're up and running here. I haven't put the timer up, sorry. I did it again. Not many other owners draw up a 12-man squad, though, says J12. Thank you very much. Well, this is the place to be. You don't want to be listening to bloody McManaman. Forza Milan, says Ronan. Lampard couldn't beat Wolves, says Michael Talbot. Well, this is going to be a very interesting game. There's so many good Chelsea players. But what's the confidence like? What's the training like? Bowley would make James Corden director of football if they win the Champions League, says Lee Berman. Thanks for the super chats. Thoughts on the Bernabeu, says Jert Wan. Fantastic stadium. Fantastic stadium. Chelsea starting quite physical here. You know what Lampard said. We're Chelsea. Get out there and rough them up. Play with your hearts. Just go out there and enjoy yourselves. Hey. I'm the Cockney Solskjaer. Get out there and enjoy yourselves. If we don't win the first half, win the second half. I'm taking the piss too much. Hi, Mark. Will you try any F1 watch-along, says Aaron. I haven't even watched F1 yet because Man United are always playing. That's what happens when you're in the Europa League. Lovely break here. João Felix is through one-on-one. We're taking the piss out of Chelsea. And he shoots. And he hits Courtois' feet. But I tell you what, if João Felix had a nitro boost, this would have been a goal because he had 2 metres 2 metres on the centre-back for Real Madrid, Militao, and Militao still caught up with him. That's where Chelsea need... In that moment, that's why Chelsea need a striker. Because the ball from Kante, when he plays it, João Felix is ahead of Militao, but he's in his own half, so he can't be offside. I loved that there, because if you're in a pub or a living room and somebody's shouting offside, that's the sort of play that outs people who are fake fans, because he can't be offside in his own half. But he didn't have the pace to get away from, and that's the problem with Chelsea. They don't have that out and out striker, do they? But that was a big chance. And as I say, for Madrid, everyone expects them to win. But you look at that Chelsea side, it's got so many bloody good players in it. It's not beyond the realms of possibility that they just click. Having said that, I saw something with Joe Cole a few weeks ago, and he was talking about England's good team that he played in the early noughties, and he was basically saying, you know, we didn't really have any tactics. We were all good players, but we didn't really have any tactics, and I think that's been the problem for Chelsea. Oh, bad ball by Modric. They're coming away again, and Kante has got 2v1. Should have played the pass. Still going. Kante's had a great start here. João Felix. Great start by Chelsea, catching Real Madrid on the break. You wonder what Man City would do to them if they played like this. It'd be 3-0 already to Man City, I'm telling you. What's happening here, says Fennick? Well, Chelsea are counter-attacking, and they're counter-attacking very well. It's basic. It's very basic tactics, and Solskjaer made a season out of this. But for Chelsea, it's working quite well. Back five, counter-attack. It can work. Liverpool started off well, said James, yes. Talking about James, always a chance for Chelsea when Reece James is playing, I think. Nice ball out to Vinicius Junior. Here he is. First chance to run. That'll be a yellow card straight away. It's got to go straight in the book there. Fofana. Sent him back to Leicester there. Vinicius Junior. And that's what you don't want to do if you're Chelsea. You don't want to get caught in a one-on-one. He had to take a yellow, didn't he? Kante started off. I mean, what sort of season could Potter have had if he'd had Kante? I just think Kante takes a team. He's like Casemiro for Man United. Tuchel killed Guardiola in the final doing this, is Billy Thomas. Stats Carousel's not moving. Sorry, I will get that moving around for you. Our Stats Carousel is sponsored as normal by the OneFootball app. You can download it through the link in the description or scanning the QR code. Get all your latest breaking football news, transfer news there for free. It's free to download. Also, as well as the stats that are going around the screen, they individualise the stats as well, so you can look at the individual players on the app as well. So give it a download. Big shout out to OneFootball. Good start to this game. Mark, even if we get taken over in June, I've done that once from Everything Product Reviews, and we've done that one from Kenzie. Thanks for the super chats. You can do that through the $ if you want to. Who do you think can stop City in the Champions League, says Nev? At the moment, I think Bayern Munich have the best chance, but they haven't got a striker. Man City, for me, look like they're the best team in the league, in the Champions League, apart from Napoli. But whether Napoli can sustain it, I don't know. Good play. I thought he got the ball there, Camavinga. How did Ancelotti and Everton even happen, says Samuel. Oh, Camavinga's been booked as well. Well, be careful of this game. The referee has set his stall out very early here. 2 yellow cards, Fofana and Camavinga. Real Madrid's defence is playing a very high line. And I thought Camavinga got the ball. No, he didn't. Sterling knocked it past him. Yellow card. Good officiating. Although I do think... Well, I think they're both yellow cards. I don't think the referee could have let either of them go either. Thoughts on Pulisic, says Anthony. Well, Modric was just having a chat with him there about the yellow card, but I think he's right. I think the referee's got it right. And Chelsea are playing well, Lil Chris. Look at Lampard in his baseball jacket. I went down Selfridges with my mum yesterday, mate. Me and Christine. His mum's not called Christine. I meant his wife, Christine, off the One Show. Christine Bleakley's not... Well, Christine Lampard isn't his mum. Over the bar from Chilwell. That's a shame. 7 minutes and 54 gone. But I think Real Madrid have looked vulnerable here. I think Lampard set them up quite well. His wife is called Christine Bleakley, isn't she? I think it is the one. She's Northern Irish. Why the hell is he wearing a Brazil jumper? Casemiro's back. I've just done the Man United Sevilla preview. Do you think Declan Rice will go to Newcastle, says Nath G? I'll tell you this for free. If Declan Rice goes to Newcastle, he's going for this. Oh, he's wanted to go for Chelsea. He's wanted to go to Chelsea for the last 3 or 4 years. And if it wasn't Chelsea, it was United. And if it wasn't United, it was Man City. Because he wants to go to the next level and win things. If he goes to Newcastle, it's this. But, in fairness to Declan Rice, that might be his only option. Can Real Madrid settle? Lovely ball out wide by Valverde there. But Chelsea have started off really well here. I mean, imagine if this was at Stamford Bridge next week. If they could keep this up over 2 legs. They have started off very well. He's going to Arsenal, says James Brennan. Rice to Arsenal. I think Declan Rice is a good player. I know a lot of people think he's overrated and overpriced. I do think he's a good player. I mean, he is overpriced. He's not worth any more than 60 million. I mean, at the end of the day, he's a centre defensive midfielder. He's a 60 million pound player. He's not 100 million pound, but it's the English tax. Lampard, a bad coach. I think he's been a bit lucky. Cross into the box. I think Chelsea have been the better team in the first 10 minutes here, and I'm not even joking. Where's my chat? Where's my chat? There we go. Look at the stats, though. Real Madrid have had a lot of the ball, but they've not done anything with it yet. I want to ask you a question. Do you think Real Madrid's best midfield is Valverde, Modric and Kroos? Because I actually think that in a game like this against Kante, Kovacic and Enzo Fernandez, you should be picking Tchouaméni. There's no doubt Toni Kroos is a fantastic player. He's just played a very, very good pass. And there's no doubt Modric is fantastic. But I do think in a game like this, Tchouaméni's decent. Benzema shoots from distance. Benzema. They've gone for seniority, says Oliver. Wow, it's about time. Camavinga in the midfield would be good. I think you've got to pick Modric, and I really do like Valverde, but why doesn't Rudiger get picked? That's one for the boffins. Why don't they pick Rudiger? Alaba and Militao, yeah. I mean, you could put Alaba at left back. Here's Benzema, good turn. Shoot straight at Kepa. First big chance for Real Madrid there. Do you have a team that you want to win tonight, says Alex? No, not really. Madrid always start slow, don't worry, says Treble Champ. No, not really. I've always quite liked a lot of Chelsea's players. I'm not a Chelsea fan, and there's been times where I've really despised Chelsea. The Mourinho years, didn't like Terry, didn't like Lampard. I can appreciate they were very good players, but they weren't a very likeable team. And obviously they were Man United's big rival then. But there's a lot of Chelsea players I actually do like, but. I wouldn't be bothered if Chelsea won. I mean, a lovely ball by Koulibaly here, but they're playing a high line, Real Madrid, and Chelsea have looked to exploit it. Oh, Drogba. I didn't like Drogba, but what a striker. My dad does support Chelsea, and I don't necessarily know why. I don't know. I know he's got loads and loads and loads of programs that like from when he was a kid, for Chelsea, but I don't know why. It is a bit of a random one, and I never got the urge, thank God. I think I sat my granddad down and my dad down. I said, right, you support Man United and you support Chelsea. Why? And I preferred the reason of my granddad. I didn't. I had no choice in being a Man United fan. It was all that was on the telly when I was a kid. VHS videos. Cross comes in. Kepa comes and collects it. That's a rarity. What's your thoughts on the Mason Mount situation, says Liam. I just think Mason Mount's a good player, and I don't really get what's happened to him this season. I mean, he sat on the bench again today. You look at that Chelsea bench, though. I mean, this is what I mean about Chelsea. It's like the squad's ridiculous. Pulisic is on the bench. Loftus-Cheek, Chalobah, Mudryk, Mendy, Mount, Zakaria, Ziyech, Gallagher, Azpilicueta, Havertz and Cucurella. That's a bloody mid-table Premier League side. But the big problem? There's not one bloody striker in the whole squad. They actually haven't got one striker in their whole squad, bench or on the pitch. Hundreds of millions of pounds spent and they haven't bought a striker. Hello, we're playing a game of football where you win it by scoring goals. You should have at least 3 strikers in that squad. They haven't got one. Aubameyang's not on the player. He's not on the bench. Not on the bench. Fofana's not on the bench. So I'm talking about the match day squad, of which there's 20-something players? Not one goal scorer on the bench. Not one goal scorer on the pitch. Out and out. And that's why Chelsea will struggle. I mean, you could almost argue they're not 1-0 up because they haven't got a striker. Because that ball that Kante played to João Felix, if that is an Osimhen or an Erling Haaland, they're in. Joseph says, you're a great man, Mark. Thank you very much. Oh, Vinicius Jr. took a tumble. Never looked like a penalty to me. Never looked like a penalty to me. The referee's not even had a look. Vinicius Jr. has stayed down. City's scary, close to a treble mark. Need Madrid to stay in the Champions League, says Rabbit. Well, the way Real Madrid have started here, I think Man City would be 1 or 2-0 up. Napoli CEO said somebody offered $2.5 billion for his club, says ZA. Well, we haven't seen the replay of the Vinicius Jr. thing, and I certainly don't think it's going to be going to VAR. MJ says Frank Lampard managing a Champions League quarter-final is an insult to football. Excuse me. What a shot, Valverde. He's got a good one on him. Well, Di Matteo won a Champions League, mate. That's wild by Valverde, that is. Frank has got midfield tactics spot on, but Ancelotti will bury him with in-game tweaks. Bit more energy with Tchouaméni or Camavinga will help, says Matt Hayes. Thank you very much, Matt. Not heard from you for a while. Thank you very much for your super chat. Shady says, if Lampard somehow finds the right tactic and tempo for Chelsea and wins most games for the rest of the league and gets a striker, would you keep him? I wouldn't. I wouldn't go anywhere near him, Shady. I don't think he's good enough. Can you say happy birthday to Detta? Happy birthday. And Bryce says, I love Old Trafford to death, but imagining United playing in a stadium like this is half a decent fantasy, says Bryce. There's going to be a very interesting battle down that right-hand side with Reece James and Fofana up against Vinicius Jr. Of course, Nkunku's going to Chelsea. Not really a striker, though. No, I think management is a skill. It's a specialism. I don't think Lampard or Ole Gunnar Solskjaer or Gerrard are going to learn how to be a good coach. I think you either are one or you're not. And there's so many levels to being a good coach. Like there's, man management, recruitment, tactics, adaptability. I don't think you can learn it. And I don't think Lampard's going to be a top level coach. And yeah, I don't think just because I've played the game, you're going to be a good coach. Mourinho didn't play the game, really. Wenger didn't play the game, really. I think it's a certain skill set that isn't necessarily there just because you played the game. I think a lot of ex-players go into management because a lot of people value the fact that you've played football, but I don't think it's actually that. I don't think it's that essential. Look at American sports. A lot of their best pundits didn't play the game. I think we need to wake up in football. We're obsessed with ex-players doing absolutely everything in relation to football, and I don't think it's necessarily the step you need to take. Hi Mark, with the success he's had at Celtic, J-League and Australia, do you think their manager will eventually coach in the Premier League? He always gets linked with jobs, Guitar Boy, but I wouldn't be surprised if he ended up at a Southampton or like that. Yeah, you don't have to be a horse to be a jockey, says Michael. And hi Mark, do you miss the Ivory Coast joke from the World Cup, says Sports Fan? Oh, every day, every minute of every day. Nice ball up here, but Koulibaly's there. I was on a very popular United forum the other day defending your honour. They said you're a Nottingham fan. Still, I just don't get it. Keep up the good work, says Treble Champ. Oh mate, I know what forum you're talking about. It's. You don't even need to defend my honour. It's just, I mean, that's what you're dealing with, isn't it? You're dealing with these super fans whose argument is complete and utter nonsense. I mean, there's many things you could say about me that are true, but if you're calling me a Forest fan, you're sort of outing yourself as an idiot. I wouldn't listen to anything you've got to say about football if you think that, because it's just a baseless argument. Call me an idiot with crap football knowledge, but that's absolutely fine. Sometimes I'd agree, but yeah, that just outs people as bitter and jealous. How about Lukaku returning, says Dio? Well, never say never in football. Never say never in football. But I saw something on Twitter the other day, actually. Don Hutchinson and David Thompson both played for Liverpool, and one of them, I think it was Thompson, put a tweet out saying, I'm leaving Twitter after 12 years. I can't believe the amount of abuse people, ex-players get who've played the game. Basically, it was all about, if you've played the game, you should be listened to. And I thought, what sort of elitism is that? It's like a Tory that went to Eton University saying we should all let you run the country. Goal! Benzema! There we go. That's the goal. Lovely ball over the top, and Chelsea are 1-0 down to Real Madrid, and it's Benzema who has scored the goal for Real Madrid, and Frank Out is in the chat. We'll come back to that comment about Eton and Conservatives and ex-Liverpool players. They won't like that, but it is 1-0 done here. Would you take a Yazabel from Sociedad, says Axel? Badly timed, because I tell you what, it's 1-0. It's a lovely run by Vinny. He's got off Fofana. He's onside. Fofana's in all sorts of trouble. Kepa actually makes a good save. Well, does he make a good save? He's got hands like spaghetti here. De Gea palms that away. That's rubbish by Kepa. I'd love to get Ben Foster's thoughts on this. Look at the hand on that by Kepa. Well, maybe he's... No, to be fair to him, he doesn't get a full glove on it, but... needs stronger wrists. Needs to get on Pornhub. But it's 1-0 to Real Madrid. Big Ange is not leaving Celtic. Keep looking, says John Rees. And Tony Romo played the game and is an incredible commentator, says Brian. What's that got to do with the price of bread? I'm not saying that anybody who's played the game is not very good, but what I'm saying is that there is an obsession with everybody who's played the game. I mean, look at Gabby Agbonlahor. He played the game. I would trust my rabbit, who died when I was 5. What a save by Courtois! What a save! Well, Chelsea go up the other end and they nearly score. Lovely cross by Reece James. Raheem Sterling gets in at the front post, and Courtois makes a save because he has got strong wrists. He's a married man. That's how you keep a shot out with strong arms. Gets it to safety as well. Again, I've said this again about Chelsea. I've said this about Chelsea a lot of times this season. I just feel Kepa could have done a little bit better there on the goal. Your mate Kev knows about strong wrists, says Lee. If you know, you know. We'll come back to that point I was making about that story in a minute, but the game's cooking quite well here. So look, there was this ex-Liverpool player, David Thompson, and Don Hutchinson. They're having a bit of a back and forth on Twitter about leaving Twitter because ex-players don't get the credit they deserve. And then Don Hutchinson had said, "Oh, don't worry about it, mate. Only 1% of people make it at the highest level, and people should be listening to us. I've played the game." And I just thought, you know what? It does come across a little bit in our country. I think our last 12 prime ministers, most of them have come from Eton and Oxford because, they've played the game. And that's not how it works. I think there is countless examples of ex-players knowing absolutely nothing about the sport they played, and since they've retired clearly don't watch it, who then get rolled out onto national TV or national radio, paid good money to talk absolute nonsense. I see people on YouTube who analyse the game way better, and they've never played it. And that's my point. It's almost like some of these ex-players think everyone should just sit down and lick their boots because they played the game. And that's not... it's the people's game. The great thing about football is everyone's got a bloody opinion, and so many people watch it or have played it themselves at any level. Did you see Old Trafford was snubbed ahead of Villa Park in the UK and Ireland Euro 28 bid? No, Dan, it's in a terrible state. Here's Vinicius Jr. into the box. What a bit of skill. Little dink. Oh, back pass. That's a back pass. What's happened to the back pass rule? Why is that not a back pass? The back pass doesn't exist anymore. I want to see the Vinicius Jr. chance. Here it is. Dinks it over. Well, it's probably more of a clearance by Thiago Silva. Yeah, it's more of a clearance, to be honest. Mark, going for Goldbridge is amazing. Keep it up, says Sheev. Yeah, I need to do more of that. I like going for Goldbridge. So Chelsea are 1-0 down here. What are you talk to me, Chelsea fans? What are you thinking? Will Chelsea buy Felix? I don't think they will, Dan. I've been told he's not gonna. They're not going to keep him because they've got too many attacking midfielders and they need a striker. Vita's cracking jokes that are inappropriate. I can't read that out, Vita. It's not that sort of a show. Good game though. Good game here. Good tempo to it. Than says Lampard out and Ollie in. I'm going to have a stretch. Here. Cooking with Goldbridge will make a return. It's just about scheduling. I already know what I want to make. Oh, that's a good stretch, that is. I have to go behind the chair these days because people were getting stimulated by it. Oh, Koulibaly! Good pass, good interception. Alaba there, got his fingertips, well, his toe tips on it and just stopped it going through to Sterling. But lots of energy and pace from Chelsea. They're certainly up for it. I don't really think that João Felix is a centre forward, Harry. Well, I think he might be a CF, but he's not an ST. He's not a striker. They need an out-and-out goal scorer. I think João Felix plays off the striker, and here he is. And of course, João Felix will be up for this as an Atletico Madrid player. Lovely play there by Benzema, but he won't have the pace. Carvalho there. Oh, that's good. I've had my stretch. I'm coming back. Fernandes keeps losing the ball, says Gunnar Station. Here's Sterling. Good tackle. Again, after this half an hour has flown by. Modric got caught in possession there. This half an hour has flown by, but again, absolutely again, this problem with Chelsea is, you stick an Erling Haaland in this team, or even a Lewandowski, or even I wouldn't go as far as Harry Kane, because I think they need a bit of mobility, but even a Danny Ings. Matt says, which United Stand presenter has the biggest cult following? I don't know. Probably Ricky. Any update on Adam's job? I heard it was in danger, says Yash. Bloody should be. Rank from best to worst, Ollie, Southgate, Lampard and Gerrard. Personally think Ollie is the best one, but margins are slim. Well, as long as we all agree, Robble, that Southgate is the worst, I think we can all sleep safe tonight. Good point, Mark, about previous players. Just because you're a good driver doesn't mean you're the best at explaining how to drive someone. Analysis, says Harry B. Yep. Cross comes in. Koulibaly heads away. James Walker, thanks very much for your super chat. Appreciate it, mate. Gerrard's definitely the best, says Scott. Wow. I don't want to sound like a crying baby, but Gerrard did a lot at Rangers with an assistant coach that left him and went to QPR, and then Gerrard was shit. And also, Neil Lennon was good in the Scottish League and he couldn't hack it in the Premier League. The one thing that Solskjaer and Lampard can say is, at least we did it in the Prem. I mean, I think Solskjaer could have won titles with certain Celtic and Rangers teams because they're so dominant. But Southgate's definitely the worst of them all. Well, I've enjoyed this game though. I enjoyed last night and I didn't think it could be any better. Mark, can you skate Scooby-Doo? This is James Walker about Sam Hill as well. Cheers. 0-0 for Napoli and Milan. Lovely ball again. Kepa's quick off his line. Here's an interesting chat. Wi-Fi YouTube says, I hope we don't fire Ancelotti into the season. That's the only thing about Real Madrid, isn't it? It's a bit like Chelsea under Abramovich. Ruthless. I don't think Ancelotti should have got sacked from Chelsea, but they did it because Real Madrid are very much like that. It's always about wanting shiny new toys, isn't it? And I think that, Ancelotti should never get the sack from Real Madrid. He should have, after last year, the way they won. I don't think I've seen a more impressive Champions League win than last year because they beat so many good teams and they really weren't the favourite for the tournament. They thoroughly deserved it and they beat. It was an amazing run. I don't think I've seen a Champions League run like it. And when you do something like that as a coach, I think you should be able to survive a couple of years of Barcelona winning the league. But they probably will get rid of him. Asma says, Mark, you're well fit. Specsavers is open in the morning. I love you, Mark. If you see this, call Hope. I'm not going to call him that, Ronnie. It's not a very nice name. Gerrard wasn't as good at Rangers as people think. The season they won was more about how bad Celtic were. How can a new manager come in, replace the team and win 2 leagues in a row? Says John. And can you call my mate Zach? I can't call your mate Zach that. That's heightist. Some people asking for some bad things it's Kyle Plays. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. I've not even had a chance to say that. We've been live for an hour. Please do subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. We're on the road to 1 million subscribers. 935,000. Bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. When's FIFA career mode back? We've just done 2 days of streaming on Twitch. That's where it is, Meals. And I tell you what, it's a bloody good career mode at the moment. Very good career mode at the moment. If you know, you know. Tune in tomorrow at 3 o'clock on Goldbridge TV on Twitch. I just don't put the highlights on here anymore because there's too much content going up on here now as a football channel. So it's just all on Twitch. You can watch it. You can watch the playbacks back. Can you believe Villa are 6th? Credit to Emery, says Paul. They're doing a great job. Doing a great job. Ancelotti has interest from Brazil's national team, says Juan. Here we go. Benzema. What brilliant play that is. Oh, God. But the ball's still in, mate. Turn around. Why didn't you turn around? Lovely, lovely link-up play. I think it was Rodrigo and Benzema. Fantastic play. They've warmed up, Real Madrid. They have warmed up. Esler, thank you very much for the super chat. Joining the members club. Justin says, I don't have Twitch. Well, that's where it is. I can't do anything about it. Rumours of Declan Rice to Newcastle, thoughts, says Shady. I haven't seen this rumour, but I don't think it's what Declan would want. I mean, it's a step up from West Ham, let's be honest, but he's always wanted to go to Chelsea. Trust me. Leo, thanks for your super chat. Vigash says, if Chelsea only lose 1-0, do you give them a chance at Stamford Bridge? Yes. I think even at 2-0 they've got a chance, but they've got a long way to go yet. Heads have dropped a little bit since that goal, which is always Chelsea's problem, mentality. You know, they started off well, can't score, concede, and they're losing a lot of 50-50s at the moment. And Madrid are just winning a lot of the ball back. Top 7 prediction, says Paul Matts. Good one. We'll continue at half-time with our player of the season, team of the season thing. Goalkeeper yesterday, Ramsdale. Can you say that Zach Baker is a beautiful man then, says it's Kyle Plays. There you go. Top 7, I think. Arsenal fans, don't write in. I want you to win the league. I'm using reverse jinx psychology here. Jinxology. I think Man City win the league, Arsenal 2nd, United 3rd, Newcastle 4th, Spurs 5th, Brighton 6th, Villa 7th. Controversial. No Liverpool in the top 7. I don't think they want to be. You don't want to be in the Conference League. I think being in the Conference League is almost as bad as getting relegated for a team like Liverpool or Manchester United. If you're in the Conference League, I don't even know what's going on in the Conference League. It's like the girls' toilets in a pub. I've just got no idea what goes on. Great. Whoa, I tell you what. How did Rodrigo mess up the cutback there? Twice he's done that now. He plays a 1-2 with Vinny, and he just doesn't see the pass to Vinicius Jr. I don't know why. Would you be happy if United buy Vlahovic? Yes, I would, Supreme. I think he's a good player. Yeah, I don't know what we do now. Ghent against West Ham in the Conference League at 5 o'clock tomorrow. I don't know. I don't know. That is one thing. I know more about the National League than I know about the Conference League. I don't know who's in it. Well, I know now. Genk and West Ham. And I won't give a shit who wins it. I mean, somebody said to me a couple of months ago, you're going to do a watch-along for the Europa Conference League final. I said, no. Absolutely not. You don't want to be in that. United nearly were in it last season. We nearly qualified for it for last season. And I was like, look, sometimes the Europa League is bad enough. I am not covering. At least the Europa League gets good in the group, in the knockout. Conference League doesn't even get good in the final. Gerrard won 1 trophy from a possible 9 in Scotland. Let's not pretend he was good, says Jordan. Esler, thank you very much for joining the members club. Thanks everyone who's tuning in. Please do subscribe. Would you take Ronaldo? He's having a great season, says Sports Fan. No, we've been there, done that. Here we go. Look at the pace here. Cross is probably a little bit early there. Thiago Silva does well. Goldbridge, as a Spurs fan, I wouldn't mind us being in the Conference League. Yes, I'm that desperate, says DJ. You're all right. Milan are winning 1-0. Told you, keep an eye on Milan. 1-0 to Milan. Spurs don't need to be in the Conference League. You've been in the Champions League. You're fighting for top 4 again. I don't think Spurs need to be in the Conference League. I did say watch out for Milan. Rodrigo is a good player, says Jelly. He just needs to work on his final ball a little bit. What do Chelsea need to do? Not concede the second goal anytime soon, because their heads have dropped a little bit since it's gone 1-0. It's Kyle Plays has a crush on Zach Baker. It's a love story developing in front of us. Do you think Napoli can stop Man City, says Shahin? Well, they're not stopping AC Milan at the moment. They're 1-0 down. A lot of people in the know think that Milan will knock Napoli out. Spursway says, have you had a good day, Mark? Up and down. It's like a fake Tuesday today, isn't it? Because of the bank holiday. I'm not a big fan of Tuesday. It's been a bit of an up and down day, really. If I'm being honest. Good points and bad. But not every day's the perfect day, is it? We should all just be grateful for the miracle of life. Unless you got eaten by a crocodile. Good ball here. The movement. And here's Vinny up against Fafana. Don't know what that was all about. Rubbish cross. It's Wednesday. I know it's Wednesday. I said it's a fake Tuesday. I'm not thick. Our week started yesterday because we had a bank holiday Monday. So it's the second day of the week, really. Working week. So it's a bit like a fake Tuesday. That's what I said. There's the goal. Look, weak hands by Kepa. What does he do with his spare time? He's definitely not playing consoles or anything else that people normally do in their spare time. Working on their wrists. For a goalkeeper, that's criminal. You had a bad day. You take one down. You sing a sad song just to turn it around. I don't know why I know the lyrics to that song. It's shit. We're only 200 subscribers away from 937,000, by the way. So please do subscribe. Let's see if we can hit it tonight on That's Football. Champions League Watchalong. Having a good time. Do you think Man United will win the FA Cup or the Europa Cup, says Lee? I spoke about this on the United Stand tonight. I would rather Manchester United won the FA Cup because then City can't win the treble. That's just how my mind works. Sue me. Benzema down the right-hand side. Oh, no. Off topic, but Silva is almost the same size as LM, says Peter. What? Thiago Silva's only 5'10"? No. I always thought he was well over 6 foot. Well, I'll take your word for it. Lampard looking very serious. Any chance you and Neville maths? Yeah, Shady, I'm not stupid. Great work, Mark, absolute legend. Also, why is Kepa still in goal and Mendy's on the bench? Mendy's way better. I don't get it, Man United Hodge. I don't get it at all. He's 5'11", Thiago Silva. Robbo says, weren't we close to signing Camavinga, but Ronaldo became available and we spent the remaining cash on him instead? What were United thinking? Nah, Robbo, I don't think United were close to signing Camavinga. I genuinely think you pick Real Madrid over Man United. Yeah. Not at all. Oh my God, what's Fofana doing here? They've got a 4v4. Real Madrid. It's Valverde. He goes for the shot straight at the keeper. They're knocking on the door. They're knocking on the door for 2-0. And Chelsea have lost their way since the goal. But they've not really done anything, have they, since they had a good start, but the trouble is, for Chelsea, when you go 1-0 down and you don't score goals, it becomes a mental battle. At 0-0, you believe because you're in with a shout. But as soon as you go down, there's a psychological block. Referee's been quite good. He's let a lot go. Ancelotti's not happy with him, but I thought that was quite good refereeing. We're nearly at half time and it's flown by, which always says to me, this has been a good game. This is where Chelsea struggle though. Ball down on the flanks. You can't whip across him because it's like watching the Hobbits. It's like the desolation of Smaug. The Hobbit movie. They're all too small. Sterling, Enzo Fernandez, Kante, João Felix. I don't think there's anybody over 5'10". They can't whip a cross in. I'm Ronnie Pickering. Half time, everybody. Half time. Real Madrid lead 1-0 here. And probably about right. Chelsea started off quite well, to be fair. And but Real Madrid have, after a slow start, taken control and had the better chances. What's your thoughts on Adam's question? I thought it was good, says Supreme. And thank you very much for that. Thanks for all the super chats. You can do that through the $ if you want to. We're going to continue our debate at half time about player team of the season. We're going to do right backs next. So I need eight in a minute. I can't speak. Milan are beating Napoli 1-0 at the moment. Do a combined 11. It's not a bad idea. Thoughts on Santi Jimenez for Man United, says British Texas Ranger. Thank you very much. And Kante has had 4 different managers in the last 4 games he has played, says Rooney. That is incredible. Let's just have a quick look. I like to look at this at half time, just very, very quickly. Let's have a quick look at the stats at half time. I'm just going to pause it there. Remember, our stats are brought to you by OneFootball. You can download OneFootball for free. It's an app. Get all your latest breaking football news and transfer news there for free, Apple and Android. You can scan the QR code in the top right-hand corner or go through the link in the description. Great thing about OneFootball as well is if you've got the app, you can go into that now and you can check the individual stats for each player as well. But in relation to the general stats, 60% possession for Real Madrid, 10 shots to 3, 6 on target to 2. yeah, they've taken control. I think in the first 10 minutes it was a little bit different, but look at the passing accuracy of Real Madrid. That's one of the best I've seen recently. 92% pass accuracy off nearly 400 passes. Chelsea, 85% off 250. That is real quality in possession from Real Madrid. And that, my friends, is why they have been so dominant in creating chances, because the quality has been superior to that of Chelsea. And as Abdul says, 92% pass succession with nearly 400 passes is incredible. And they're not passing it around the back either. You know, they're not going side to side. You know, Chelsea are pressing them and they're playing through. It's ridiculous. The way they've played, which is quite risky, to have that level of accuracy, really impressive from Real Madrid. You've got to call it out. Really good. Only love can hurt this. Is there a way back in for Chelsea? There's always a way back. As I said, if they can take 2-0 to Stamford Bridge, the way they played in the first 10 minutes, if you score one of those goals at Stamford Bridge, it's 2-1, you've got the crowd rocking, who knows? What they can't do, I mean, 1-0, even 1-0 is a good result, but what they cannot do is take anything worse than 2-0. If it goes to 3-0, which it easily could have been, or easily could be, then the game is over. Chelsea's job is to keep this game, this tie alive for next week. There'll be massive underdogs next week if it's 2-0, and that's the way it's heading, but that's what they've got to do. That's what they've got to do. Chelsea not playing as a team, says Orbit. I think Chelsea's big problem is this. They don't have the coaching. Whatever you think about Lampard, he's not been there long enough anyway. They don't have the coaching for the players they've got. I look at the squad, I look at the bench, and I think, oh my God. There's a big problem. They haven't got a goal scorer, but even so, they've still got good players. The problem Chelsea have got is they know what we know. They can't score goals. So as soon as they go 1-0 down, I guarantee in the heads of them, psychologically, they'll be thinking, we're in trouble because we can't score. And football is a mental battle as much as it's a physical battle. And, at 0-0, they looked like they had their tails up. But as soon as it went to 1-0, it was almost like they didn't believe anymore. It was almost like they were like, we can't concede another goal. Because if we do, we'll never score two. And that's the problem for Chelsea. And I say to you, it's incredible, absolutely incredible, that Chelsea spent so much money last summer and so much money in January and didn't bother to go and buy a striker. I'll never understand that. I'll never understand it. Would you rather take Benzema or Kane at United to see it? It's a great question because Benzema is better than Harry Kane, but I would take Harry Kane because Benzema's going to give you 1 or 2 years max, and he's never played in the Premier League, whereas Harry Kane could give you 4 or 5. I think Man United can't be going short term. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. We're only 200 subscribers away from 937,000 on the road to 1 million subscribers. Somebody said, could you do a combined 11? I was actually going to do right back of the season in the Premier League because we're working through as a community Premier League team of the season. We did 8 goalkeepers yesterday and we got it down to Ramsdale. Do you want me to do right backs today, or should we do a combined 11 between Chelsea and Real Madrid? Could be quite problematic to do a Chelsea and Real Madrid combined 11 actually. But it is 1-0 between AC Milan and Napoli at half time. I think Napoli have just got to keep that game alive. It's a tough game for them. They've had 55% possession and they've had 3 shots on target to 1 AC Milan shot. So Napoli are definitely in the ascendancy, but AC Milan sort of do have a bit of a grip on them psychologically because they beat them 4-0 in Naples a couple of weeks ago. Just going through the teams there: Maignan, Calabria, Chiar, Tamore, Hernandez, Krunic, Tonali, Diaz, Beneka, Rafael Leao and Giroud. The Napoli side: Mere, De Lorenzo, Ramani, Kim Min-jae, Rui, Anguissa, Lobotka, Zielinski, Lozano, Almaz and Kvaratskhelia. They are lacking striking options, Napoli, with no Osimhen fit. It's a big loss. For a team like Napoli, not having Osimhen is a little bit like Spurs not having Harry Kane. They ain't Man City. They can't bring Alvarez in. So, Give me 8 candidates for right back and we'll do it. In fact, let's actually screw that. Let's circumnavigate and go. Everyone always goes right back first. Let's go left back first. So give me the best 8 left backs in the Premier League this season, because I've got Zinchenko, definitely. I've got Luke Shaw, definitely. What's the Brentford lad? I quite like the Brentford lad. Oh, I always forget his name. He's had a really good season. Aki deserves a shout. I agree. He has been very good. Rico Henry. That's it. We'll put him in. I need 8. You've got to put Dan Burn in, you know. You have got to put Dan Burn in, as ridiculous as it sounds. Would you put Chilwell in there? This is where we're going to struggle. We've only got 5. Ben White doesn't play left back. Trippier doesn't play left back. Robertson at Liverpool. I don't think he's had a good season, but we'll put him in. Yeah, can somebody spell me the Brighton left back's name? Because I don't want to get it wrong. Theo Hernandez doesn't play in the Premier League. Some people just don't get it, do you? We're talking Premier League left backs. Malacia, I don't think Malacia could be there. Yeah, I've got Henry. He doesn't play for Brighton. Graham Lasso. Robinson from Fulham. I think he's worth a shout. I ain't got a problem with that. Just need one more. Tomiskus, the Wi-Fi password. I don't think he makes it. Leighton Baines. Estebinan, I can't pronounce it. I'm just going to spell it. Okay, we've got 8. I don't think we've missed anybody out. We're going to do left back of the season. You can vote and get involved in the chat here. Second half is going to start soon, but it doesn't matter. Left back of... So let me just write this properly so people know. Prem, left back of the season. Could be quite quick with this. So our first quarter-final is Zinchenko against Dan Burn. We can keep it going through the second half. Oh, it's a battering for Zinchenko. We don't need to dwell on these ones too much. Let's go for the next one. We got Luke Shaw against Robinson, in brackets, Fulham. There we go. I did think we might race through some of these. They're a bit one-sided, the quarterfinals. It's a bit like Man City against Sheffield United. It's a bit one-sided. Easy work there. I don't know what's going on. Some of the super chats just seem to be staying up for ages today. I tell you what, let's just go straight to the bloody final. I can see where this is going. It's Zinchenko, right? The final, Premier League left back of the season. Let's just do it. We're skirting around the issue here. There's 2 stunners in the room. Pick it. Zinchenko or Luke Shaw, best left back of the season. Let's just go for the final. It's so obvious. Hi, Mark. Do you think Chelsea will regret not registering Aubameyang for the Champions League, says Farhan? Oh, I mean that I didn't even realise that. Uh, I think that it's incredible. That is incredible, but it's incredible that they didn't buy a striker even more. Then I don't know. I think the Chelsea. I think the way. Look, to be honest with you, I've been quite vocal about this. I'll be vocal about it again. It's Chelsea fans' football club. It's up to them what they think. It's up to them what they do. I do the Talk Sport show on a Saturday night, and a lot of Chelsea fans call in and they don't agree with what I say, but that's fine. You know, it's your club. You've got to live with it. But the way that Chelsea have been run this season has been a farce, and I think they're almost paying the price of the Abramovich years, where they think, let's get rid of something really quickly because that's the way to go, because it worked out quite well under Abramovich. Well, look, you can replace your manager ruthlessly if you've got an owner who has got people advising him who know what they're on about. You know, if you replace Ancelotti and you bring a Mourinho type in, it's probably going to work. But Chelsea fans are still lost in the past of this ruthlessness, but they don't have the football people to make the changes necessary. I wouldn't have got rid of Potter. I was a fan of his. But if you're going to get rid of him, I couldn't believe they did that with a game like this on the horizon. I mean, I couldn't believe that Bayern Munich got rid of Nagelsmann, but at least they had Tuchel lined up. To get rid of Graham Potter, who you've just spent 300 million quid on a few weeks ago, ahead of the Champions League quarter-final, just weird. Wait till the end of the season. But the reason that happened is because their owners are terrified of the fans. It's a popularity contest. You can't run a football club on a popularity contest. You've got to do things that are controversial sometimes for the greater good. You've got to be in control. And Chelsea this season, whether their fans like it or not, you are a bit of a joke because you are being run by people who don't know what they're doing. Like, you're literally dictating decisions of your... They didn't want to sack Potter. Potter was here for the long term, and the fans started moaning about it, and the owners changed their mind. I wouldn't want that at Man United, to be honest. I don't mind them listening to us on some things, but everything, you want strong ownership. The next owner of Manchester United, if they buy Harry Kane, I don't agree with it. I think he's world class, but I don't necessarily agree with it. But if they do it, I'll back it. They need strong ownership at Chelsea, and I think the worrying thing for them is, you look at that squad, you add a striker to it, they're looking really good. But what's the security? What's the long term? What if Nagelsmann gets the job and you lose 4 of your first 5 games, and the fans start going, we want him out? Are they going to sack him again? Like, you need strong ownership of a football club, and I don't think Chelsea have got it this year. Zinchenko against Luke Shaw is really close. 54% for Zinchenko and 46% for Luke Shaw. So very close at the moment. We'll keep it going. Nathan Ake will get a shot against the finalist. A lot of people have said he should have been in it, so I'm more than happy to give him a shot. Nathan Ake's not been robbed. I'll give him a go. I was just mid-Chelsea rant. Players are coming out for the second half here. So I'm going to end the poll. Luke Shaw lost to Zinchenko. I'll own that. And we will have this now. Winner stays on. Zinchenko against Nathan Ake. I mean, I'll be stunned if anyone votes for a City player. They haven't got no fans. Perisic. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Anyway, can Chelsea get back into this? 1-0 down in the Bernabeu against Real Madrid. The holders started the game quite well, conceded a goal, and have sat back a bit. Lampard will surely get his hair done like Conte. Imagine if them 2 police officers were coming on to play centre-back for Chelsea. Yeah, I've never played for Chelsea before. I don't know why they're Italian either. Anyone comes near the goal, CS spray them and batter them with the shield. Courtois. I like the red of that goalkeeper's top. What are you on about? If Potter was still in charge, we'd be 3 or 4-0 down by now, says Tony Soprano. Tony, you're not listening to what I said, are you? I'm not talking about your manager. I'm talking about your bloody owner. He sacked Potter and replaced him with bloody Lampard. You know what that's like doing? That's like divorcing your wife and replacing it with a porno. It's not real. Although some might prefer. lots of categories. But you know, I'm not talking about Potter. I'm just saying I think it's stupid. I've seen a lot. Look, it's not exclusive to Chelsea. I've seen a lot of clubs this year sack managers without a manager lined up. I mean, what Leicester did was worse than Chelsea, because Chelsea won't get relegated. What Leicester did, sacking their manager ahead of 2 massive home games and not having a manager lined up, was absolutely incredibly thick. I don't know. I can't breathe about stuff like that. It's ridiculous. Maguire's clear of both, says it's CJR. Don't know what he's talking about. Don't know what he's on about. Nathan Aké lost by more than Luke Shaw did, so therefore Nathan Aké shouldn't have been in the final. I agree. Zinchenko and Luke Shaw, it was 54% to 46%. Zinchenko and Aké, it's 60% to 40%. So everybody who put Nathan Aké in, you're looking silly now, aren't you? Justice for Aké. May as well be Celtic. Is Benzema the best footy centre forward you've ever seen? Says Tony. No, the best centre forward I've ever seen in my lifetime. I mean, God, I've seen a few. Depends what sort of forward you're talking about. I mean, Alan Shearer was a bloody good striker. Thierry Henry was a really good striker. Van Nistelrooy was very, very good. Batistuta was sensational. I mean, Benzema is very, very good. I'd put him in the argument. But here we go. Chelsea, no pace on the break again. Raheem Sterling's going to have to do this all on his own, and he has to turn around. I've had a super chat here from Dean Smith. To Leicester would not keep Leicester in the Prem. Claydon, I wouldn't be too premature with that. R9, Ronaldo 9 was amazing. Yeah, probably one of the best I've ever seen. Actually, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if Dean Smith did keep Leicester up, because it's the right sort of he's the right sort of manager. You know, very simplistic, organised. You know, isn't really a Premier League manager. He's more of a Championship manager, relegation battle manager. But he might keep them up. You know, but they should have done, if that's the manager they were going for. They should have had that lined up the day Rodgers got sacked. Here's Chelsea. They're in the box with João Felix, straight at Courtois. And that's the great thing that Real Madrid have got, by the way. The best goalkeeper in the world. He ain't easy to beat. So even if you get into that position, still absolutely fantastic goalkeeper that you've got to beat. Do you think City beats this Madrid side, says Simon? I thought last year they would, and they didn't. So where I'd be worried if I was Real Madrid is how open they are at the back. And this is the same thing that Bayern Munich did last night. Real Madrid are quite open at the back. And that, oh my God, Koulibaly recovered really well there, because he wasn't winning the race. But then the Real Madrid player, Rodrigo, had to control it, and it slowed him down and allowed Koulibaly back. That was a dangerous moment there. Koulibaly recovery pace was very, very quick. But no, going back to the question, do I think Man City... I think Man City would be favourites against Real Madrid, and a lot of people would disagree with me. But I just think the way Real Madrid, they leave a lot of space. And as we saw last night, Man City in space... like this, Chelsea got a 3v3 here. As Koulibaly's hamstring went there, says makeup. Yeah, well, he was running. He was running hard. Yeah, he looked like he might be carrying something. I don't mean he's shopping. He looks all right at the moment. Lampard's saying he might be all right. They were favourites last season, Man City, yeah. Again, look at the passing of Real Madrid. Look at the pace of Vinny up against Reece James. I mean, Reece James is a very good right back, and he's struggled. He has struggled. Modric! Oh my God! You know when it's gone in the top corner, but it's not gone in the top corner. I don't know how that doesn't go in. It looks like it's one of those that look like it's gone in and it hasn't gone in. If you were a different angle here, you think this is in. Unbelievable. Modric on the edge of the box just curls it. I don't know how that doesn't go in. Look at that. I think it's going to go in with every replay. Just like, it's almost at the last minute, it just jumps up a little bit. They've played really well, Real Madrid, haven't they? Nath G says McManaman's pants as a pundit. Vinny's pace is a killer. It's killing players like Reece James and Fofana, who ain't slow. "51 minutes, cracking game." Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. Bottom right hand corner. Thanks for tuning in. Everyone's welcome on That's Football. Kante's looking shaky, says Andy Hines. Benzema. Oh, tell you what. I feel there's a second goal from Madrid coming here. I'll be stunned. I know how much you love people correcting your pronunciation, so I just want to add, you don't pronounce the S on Courtois' last name. Thank you very much, Leon. I'll try and remember it. I actually, as I say, don't care. I'm an individual. I'm authentic. But I'll try and remember that. I think sometimes adding a different way of a name is quite good. You know why it is, though? There are origins of this. Like my real surname, no one has ever pronounced it right. So I'm not really hung up on the correct pronunciations of names. Here's Camavinga into Modric. I did that one on purpose. I did it on purpose. People are going mad in the chat. Well, Koulibaly looks like he's going to be okay. Vinicius Junior. It could have been. Oh no! He's down. He's down. He's down. He's down. Cucurella's going to have to come on. This is bad news for them because Koulibaly's played well. B. Yakov says it's wrong. It's very disrespectful when you get somebody's name wrong. I've just explained it. Koulibaly's coming off. Have to see how they get on. Chelsea are in trouble now, says Jack. Lampard's not taking any chances. Cucurella comes on. Thing is about Cucurella, I like him. I like Cucurella, but he's not done particularly well at Chelsea. He's brilliant at... I used to go on about Cucurella all the time. I thought Man City wanted him. Man City wanted him. And he was brilliant at Brighton. But I don't know, what do you think's gone wrong with Cucurella at Chelsea? Because I think he was brilliant at Brighton, but it's just not worked out at Chelsea. Misuse, out of position. I don't know. Too big of a step up. I mean, for £50 million, it's almost a bit like Wan-Bissaka, isn't it? Oh, look at the run here by Camavinga. But it's Fofana who clears it out for a throw-in. And Reece James will take the throw-in. I'm a big fan of Reece James, by the way. I think he's England's best right back, but he's had a tough game today against Vinicius Jr. I'm going to stop now. Goldbridge has got the chat on strings, says Shell. It amazes me how many people get wrong, how people get OCD about the correct pronunciation of names. I wonder... I don't know. What are your thoughts on Eden Hazard, Mark, says Loon? I can't believe he's still at Real Madrid. I mean, well, I suppose it's just a contract, isn't it? It's a bit like the Gareth Bale situation. He's done, isn't he? Eden Hazard, he was one of the world's best attackers. I don't think he'd start for Leicester now. I mean that. You can clip it. I don't think Eden Hazard starts for Leicester now. I think he's fell off that much. People are thinking I'm talking about prime Hazard. I'm talking about what Hazard is now. I don't think he starts for Leicester now. I don't think he's that good. I just think he's completely fell off. Injury, age, whatever you want to call it. He just hasn't got it anymore. Watch the runner. Wrong pass. Again, Rodrigo, wrong pass. Hope you're keeping well. It's been a while, says Shell. Hope you're doing well as well, Shell. I mean, imagine if Chelsea could nick a goal here. Raheem Sterling. No. Courtois is there. So Koulibaly's gone off for Chelsea with half an hour to go. Look, Real Madrid will be very disappointed if this finishes 1-0. They'll want at least a 2-goal lead here. Chelsea would be over the moon with just a one goal loss. What level is Hazard then, Mark? Oh, lovely ball again. I don't think Chilwell gets there. Oh, he's last man. You're gone. It's a red card for Chilwell. He's gone. Christmas is over. Easter is over. Straight red for Chilwell. What was he doing? That is ridiculous. What was he thinking? I don't know what he's thinking here. Just ridiculous. Has he done it in the penalty box? No, it's not in the penalty box, so it's not a penalty. I mean, that's the only good thing. But he didn't need to do it. He doesn't need to do it. Still a lot of work for Rodrigo to do. Stupid foul. Idiot football. San says signing Hazard would be a classic Glazer move. Well, we've got controversy here. Ben Chilwell sent off for Chelsea. That little ball over the top, down the Cucurella side, that wasn't happening with Koulibaly. It's very clever from Real Madrid, by the way, because that couldn't happen when Koulibaly was on the pitch. They couldn't do that. Soon as he's off, little dink in behind, Rodrigo, great pace, and Chelsea will have to park the bus now because it's going to be defence against attack. Chilwell, ridiculous. You've got to be unhappy with him. Oh, Cucurella's given up. He's lying down. No, he's behind the wall. I'd be fuming if I was Lampard, but he's just happy to be there. End of the day, I'd have been watching it on the telly anyway. Shot straight at Kepa from Alaba's free kick. He does well to keep hold of that. Straight into his body. Chilwell got sent off. JL, last man, pulled him down. You just don't need to do it. It's a mental game. They've got half an hour now away from home with 10 men. It can be done. But if you're Lampard and you're having a word with Chilwell, I'd be saying to him, what are you doing, Ben? What are you doing? We've got half an hour to go. We've got to play with silly Chile, says Flawless. You know, we've got half an hour to go. We're 1-0 down. He's through 1-on-1. Still got to score it anyway. Even if he does, we keep 11 men on the pitch. 2-0, take it back to Stamford Bridge. Now, we're 1-0 down, but we're playing with 10 men. If this goes 3 or 4-0, you've cost us the old tie. You know, if I can scam a win here over 2 legs, I might get a job at West Ham. If I get stuffed, I'll do well to get a job at BT as a pundit. Wizard says 10 men Chelsea might score. That might be the secret to Chelsea's success. Maybe they'll start scoring goals now they've got 10 men. Yeah, there's not a lot of chance of that happening, really. Ridiculous. Ridiculous defending by Chilwell. This is why, for me, he's a wish Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw wouldn't do that. That's Southgate for you. Was he on England duty by any chance, Chilwell? Because that's just ridiculous. Chelsea's best chance now is keeping it to 1-0 and getting it back at Stamford Bridge, but they won't have Chilwell and they won't have Koulibaly. So, lovely play here by Fofana though. He's got to go himself. Great run. Camavinga got the ball and he had to get the ball because that would have been a second yellow. Imagine that. Here's Modric though. He's having a look. Gets the cross wrong. If you're Ancelotti, are you making a change? Is there anybody attacking they could bring on that's not Hazard? What's the difference between that last man Chilwell read and the one on Rashford at the Nou Camp with agenda? Oh yeah, Chris, we know about that. Of course we know about that. Great tackle by Camavinga. Could be a FIFA 10 men glitch inbound, says Daniel. Look, strange things can happen, but I think this game will end up 3-0 to Real Madrid. As far as I'm concerned, this will end up 3-0 to Madrid. Oh, I don't need to do that. All that. Oh, I'm like Kylie Minogue. I'm like Anthony. I'm spinning around. I didn't mean to do that. I was trying to get my face in. Why did it work before? Is Vinicius Junior into the box. Lays it off to over the bar. Over the bar. Had a super chat here from Abraham. He says, "Hi Mark, how are you? I haven't caught streams here or United Stand for about 2 or 3 weeks and I hope all is well. Where have you been? Where have you been? Thank you, mate. Hope you're doing well." Cracking game of football here. Chelsea losing 1-0, but down to 10 men. Still 1-0 between AC Milan and Napoli as well. The story of that second half, well, in the first half, Napoli had all of the play. They've still got all the play. Can I just tell you the stats between AC Milan and Napoli. Oh, they brought Havertz on for Sterling. Oh my God. And João Felix is coming off as well. He's coming off for Chalobah, defensive, you see. 13 shots for Napoli to AC Milan's 5. 5 shots on target for Napoli to AC Milan's 1. 59% possession for Napoli to 41% for AC Milan. Guess the score. 1-0 to AC Milan. It's a bit of a smash and grab there at the moment. I'm going to go 3-0 to Real Madrid. So there you go. If Chelsea get anything better than that, they've done a great job in this last 25 minutes. But it is defence against attack, and it can work. It's basically 10 men behind the ball. Because Lampard knows that 1-0 from here is almost like a win. Todd Bowley said 3-0. That can't happen now, Todd. But Madrid, it's bad for the game when it goes down to 10 men as well. Because Chelsea just won't have any adventure in them at all now. Two-one to Chelsea, says N. Goff. Yeah, F off. Got no chance of that, mate. It's not always the way that when you go down to 10 men, it's comfortable. Although, I have seen it happen before. Kirsty's right. If it stays 1-0, Chelsea have got a chance. But you feel that there will be a few chances for Real Madrid in the last few minutes of this game. I mean, Chelsea can defend, but they'll still create chances. Callum says, evening, Mark. Evening. Good evening. Of course, the problem for Chelsea is Chilwell won't be able to play in the next game. Koulibaly's unlikely to be back in a week either. And it's not like they can go all out attack. They haven't got a striker. I'm talking about next week. Madrid probably just need to move the ball a little bit quicker here. I wonder if Ancelotti will make an attacking sub. Of course, Kante loves games like this. Here's Benzema. Loads of blue shirts back, though. It's a rear guard action now. Who's better, McTominay or Neves? I think Neves is better than McTominay, mate. Nice ball here. Rodrigo, but good play. And Kepa's quick off his line. Well, they've got rid of 10 minutes with 10 men. I've always said Benzema are funny. I almost go a bit Irish. Benzema. Didn't you know his mum was born in Derry? Asensio. Is that Asensio coming on? There you go. There's your attacking sub. I wonder if he'll take a defender off. Madrid have got to push for the goals, Nick. You're absolutely right. Andrew says, are you feeling confident for United's tomorrow game? I'll tell you what. I am. I think we'll win. I think it'll be better. I think 2 or 3-0 for Man United tomorrow. Looking forward to that. We'll be live on the United Stand if you want to tune in. What's your ideal meal deal, says Buster. People get really into all this, don't they? I don't massively get into it. For me, a meal deal is a little bit, I'm desperate. I'd normally be at Pret or something like that and have something really nice. But if I have to get a meal deal, I would go for a packet of Doritos, normally the orange ones or the chili ones, a Ribena, and my sandwich. I normally have a BLT, a BLT or a chicken Caesar wrap or a Southern Fried Chicken wrap. You can see I don't think these through. He's took Rodrigo off for Asensio. Now that does surprise me because I think Rodrigo is a player that he got Chilwell sent off, and Rudiger's coming on for Camavinga. So they're more or less like for like changes. He's not gone more forward. What is a BLT? Bacon, lettuce and tomato. Chicken stuffing sandwich is very nice, you're right. Proper BLT is lovely. Right, here we go. Good tackle, Cocarella. Yeah, he was on a yellow card. Makes sense. Chelsea versus Napoli in the final. I'll tell you what, my back's killing me again. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Chelsea are down to 10 men, that's what's going on. Chilwell's ruined the game. It's mad, isn't it? Actually, when you think about it, if they'd kept 11 players on the pitch and Real Madrid score that goal, 2-0, probably go and win it 3-0. I'm now starting to think Chilwell's red card actually could be advantageous because 1-0, down to 10 men, it allows Chelsea to park the bus. I reckon if Chilwell didn't get sent off, they definitely would have lost at least 2-0. Now he's been sent off, they might be able to keep it to 1-0. So, in a funny way, it might pay off. It's a funny old game. Real Madrid are definitely struggling at the moment to create chances. But here we go. This is the guy who doesn't struggle. Oh, good. Cucurella's made a couple of good interceptions here. Mark, is it close? Says Dizzy. What is what close? This game? No. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way, just while we've got this corner. 2-0. Oh, I've jinxed Chelsea. I've jinxed Chelsea. Chilwell is an idiot now. And it's Asensio who scored it from the corner as well. What a well-taken goal. Super sub. I think Chelsea were asleep. I can't sleep. You can't sleep in the Champions League. You can't sleep. What are you falling to sleep for? It's not bedtime. It's not CBeebies. Wake up, Chelsea. Look at them. They're all asleep. They're not organised. That's shocking. They're not organised at all. They're all stood around having a chat. When you're standing around and you're having a chat, you better watch out, because you're going to go splat. 2-0. Chelsea are in trouble here. Kepa should save it again, says Alan. Well, I'm a firm believer in that. But the better team has been Real Madrid. I think Kepa could have done better on both the goals. Here he goes. Mason Mount's coming on for Kante, and Gallagher's coming on for. What's this all about, Frank? We're gonna have a go now. We're gonna have a go. Frank, there's 2 legs. Oh shit! Kante, get back on. I thought we had to go. If we took Thiago Silva off as well. Somebody tell Lampard there's 2 legs. What's he doing? He's taken Thiago Silva off and Kante and brought Mount and Gallagher on. He's took off a centre-back and a defensive midfielder for an attacking midfielder and a centre midfielder. Somebody tell Lampard it's 2 legs. It's 2 legs, Frank. What are you doing? We're having a go. If we're going to go out, we're going to go out fighting. 2-0, we need 2 goals quick. We'll have a go. We're going to have a go. No, Frank. Silva's not happy as well. He's gone like that. He thinks it's 1 leg. I can't speak. Lampard thinks it's not 1 leg. He thinks it's 1 leg. He doesn't realise there's a second leg. Somebody tell him. Mad substitutions. They've got to keep it at 2-0. He's just made attacking subs. I don't get it. What is he doing? He's brought Conor Gallagher and Mason Mount on and took Kante and Thiago Silva off. Thiago Silva didn't want to go off. Well, can I just say, Chelsea, if this goes anything above 2-0, blame it on Lampard. I can't believe it. I can't believe what he's done. Why would you open the game up at 2-0? It's going for the away goal. Richard, I can't breathe. Richard, get me medication. He's gone for the away goal. He's been out of football. He's been out of the Champions League for so long. Lampard, he thinks there's an away goal. Somebody tell him. Let's see if it works. It could be some level of master coaching that we're not party to, but Lampard's going for the away goal. I'm gonna have to nick it. Oh, Napoli have had a red card as well. Oh, it's all going wrong for Napoli. And it's Anguissa as well, who's a big player for them. That's a shame. It's all going wrong for Napoli. They've absolutely dominated AC Milan, but they're 1-0 down. 5 shots to 1. 14 shots to 6. 5 shots on target to 1, sorry. 60% possession. They're down to 10 men now. Scott says it was never a red. Milan with the experience could be heading through. It was a red, says the Walking Fish. I haven't seen it. I can't see it. I'd be making stuff up if I said I did. Well, Chelsea better keep this at 2-0. Otherwise, Lampard's going to get pelters for his subs. I don't know what he's doing. Thiago Silva was furious. It could be a long 12 minutes now. I don't know why you'd bring Mason Mount on as well. There's better options. On form, you don't bring Mason Mount on. I know Mudryk is new, but I'd bring Ziyech on. I just think you don't bring Mason Mount on this season into a game like this. Do you think it was better with the away goal, says Harry B? I don't know. I think I think it's been better without the away goal, and I wasn't too sure, to be honest. Modric, Alaba, Vinny. I don't know what he's trying to do there. Rudiger. Whoa. Kovacic did well into Conor Gallagher. Milan derby in the semi-finals, says Road to Dawn. Yeah. Well, I tell you what, if it's a Milan derby in the semi-final, Man City are going to win the Champions League if they beat Real Madrid. Because Real Madrid and Man City will definitely beat Inter or AC Milan. Deck says AC Milan are better than Napoli. I don't think you've watched the game, mate. They've dominated them. They're just winning 1-0. Everybody wants Napoli to win because they've been so good, but I think they're going to struggle, aren't they? I think they're going to, unless they can keep it to 1-0 down at the San Siro, I think they're going to go out. It's Ian's 50th birthday. Everyone say happy birthday to Ian. Please do subscribe. I was going to just check that. Another substitution from Ancelotti. We're only 20 subscribers away from 937,000. In fact, we're only 10 subscribers away from 937,000. Click the button bottom right hand corner and subscribe if you're watching. Appreciate that. Daily content on That's Football. You're all welcome. I'll tell you what, here's Conor Gallagher. Lampard might have pulled off one of the greatest subs ever here. No. Trying to get back into it. Trying to get back into it here. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Kim Min-jae's going to miss the second leg as well. Oh my God. I think it's over for Napoli. I don't even know if Osimhen's back for the second leg. They've got no Kim Min-jae. They've got no Anguissa. It's not looking good, bruv. The Napoli dream. Well, they'll still win Serie A, which is good for them. Eight minutes for Chelsea. They have to have any chance, they've got to keep it 2-0. And they've probably not got much of a chance anyway, because they can't score goals. But to have any chance, they've got to try and keep it to 2. Chalobah does well. Goes back to Kepa. He just kicks it anywhere. Well done, Enzo. Yellow card here for Militao. Bad Boy says Champions League is dead anyway. It's missing United and Arsenal. Not next year. We'll both be back. I mean, Arsenal haven't been back in ages, have they? I think the last time Arsenal were in the Champions League, the internet had just been invented. It feels like that anyway, doesn't it? It's been a long time for Arsenal. How many years has it been for Arsenal? Is it 6 or 7? Long time. Long time. I remember when Arsenal nearly won it. They should have won it as well. That year they should have won it. Didn't they get a yellow card? Didn't they get a red card? Who did they play? Was it Barcelona? But Barcelona weren't that good. Please shout out Gavin Moore and ask him to make me a brew, says Michaela. Gavin, get the kettle on. You've pulled. Yeah, Lehmann got sent off against Barcelona. I remember that, and I thought Arsenal were going to win it. I didn't want them to win it. I never wanted anybody to win it apart from us. Yeah, they should have won it that year. Well, let's see what happens here, because if Real Madrid make it 3-0, it's over. Bit greedy from Vinicius Junior there. Benzema was the pass, trying to kill the game. Fenix says it was greedy. It was. Well, from Real Madrid's point of view, at least they've got that second goal. They desperately needed that. 3-0 kills the game entirely. Kepa's done well there. But Chelsea struggling to pass out from their own box here. Kepa just boots it clear this time. Now Mount. That's a terrible, terrible, terrible ball. Hi Mark, my brother Matt promised me a shout out for my 29th birthday 6 months ago. I'm still playing the waiting game and need to get a Goldbridge fix, says Andy. There you go, Andy. Shout out to you. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're not a Chelsea fan. Although, I think when you're the underdog, you just want something to play for, don't you? Carvalho gets a yellow there. Lost his head a bit and threw Cucurella to the floor. Was a bit violent. Casemiro gets a red for that, I reckon. He sort of gave him a kick afterwards, didn't he? Threw him to the floor. Can we get a Dermot Gallagher impression on the red card? Well, you know, at the end of the day, I like Ben. And if I was the referee, if that was in the Premier League and one of my referees are giving a red card to Ben for that, I'd be disappointed. But in Europe, you know, this is what you get. You go on holiday, you go to a restaurant in Spain, they don't always have it in English. They don't always have carling. You know, at the end of the day, you don't always get the chips. So, you know, I'll be disappointed with Ben. Typical when you're in Spain, just picking on us. Really, I bet he send him off in Spanish as well. You wouldn't get that in the Premier League. So, at the end of the day, I don't think it's a red card. I really like Ben Chilwell. What's he supposed to do? He's basically, he thinks Rodrigo scored a goal, and I'm laughing at my own joke. That's so sad. I'll try again. At the end of the day, all Ben Chilwell's done wrong there is he thinks Rodrigo's going to score. He's trying to celebrate with him. He's just a nice lad, Ben Chilwell. He's trying to celebrate with him and say, what a goal. He's just a bit premature. That's not a red card. Some people look at that and think it's a professional foul. He's pulled him down. At the end of the day, Ben Chilwell is an appreciation of good football. He knows Rodrigo is going to score that goal. He wants to be the first to congratulate him. That's not a red card for me. In the Premier League, my referees would see that. They'd probably say, we know what you're doing, Ben. You're just trying to celebrate the goal a little bit early. Next time, just wait for it to cross the line. We'll say no more. Play on. Dermot Gallagher there. I tell you what, I think Chelsea are going to get this. Hi Mark, random question. Being a Bristolian myself, what do you mean Bristol is like the Premier League? I'm intrigued to know. Love the content as always. What do you mean, Joe? I don't know what you're on about, Joseph. Bristol's like the Premier League. Bristol's not like the Premier League. You've never had a Premier League team. I don't know why. Do Bristol people not like? What a ball. What a ball. Stay on side, Benzema. Oh, Asensio's not going to deal with that. Can Real Madrid get this third goal? Can Chelsea just hold on and keep something going? Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. I don't know what games we're doing. I'm doing the 3 o'clock games on Saturday. So weekend watch along. I'm doing the 3 o'clock ones. I was looking at this the other day. There's nothing I much fancy. I don't fancy Villa Newcastle at 12:30. I quite fancy the 3 o'clock games. I think there's a few ones to keep an eye on. Brighton against Chelsea, I think will be quite good. Spurs, Bournemouth. I don't want to do Man City, Leicester. We may as well just paint the fence. So yeah, we'll do the 3 o'clock kickoffs on Saturday. Obviously, I'll be doing United Forest on Sunday. Kevin says, "Do you not like Newcastle?" I mean, that to be fair, I don't know. Villa Newcastle is probably a good game. You're right. It's probably a very good game. Looks like we need Madrid to beat City again, says Carol. I think that actually, you know what? I think that will be a good game. There's a reason I can't do it. I'm going to watch my daughter play football. That's it. Hi Mark, I'm a Liverpool fan. People are saying we need 3 midfielders to get back on track. I think we need 10. A backup for Alisson, a right back that can defend, a left back, 3 central defenders, 6 midfielders and a forward. Kevin, I don't think you need anything going forward. I think your forwards have been, unlucky this year having such a poor midfield. But I don't disagree with you that it's the end of an era and you need a lot of players. We need a Dyche versus Dermot Gallagher argument impression, says Sean. I don't know whether I could do it. I'm telling you what, Dermot, that's the worst red card. That's a definite red card. I'm telling you now, that's a definite red card. Well, no, I'm not going to do it. It's a bit boring. It hurts my throat. Alaba. Good cross. Kepa. Oh, Benzema. He's just missed the sitter. Kepa with the assist. Palmed it onto his head. And Benzema. You can't believe it. You can't believe it. Cross comes in. What's Kepa doing for a start? He is a rubbish. He's rubbish, that Kepa. Why do you pick Kepa? What keeper palms it to the penalty spot? What? Why do Chelsea keep why do Chelsea keep picking Kepa? He's rubbish. Every time I'm gonna, you know what? I should stop watching Chelsea games because every time I watch it, he's rubbish. Rubbish. I always thought Mendy was a good goalkeeper as well. Don't get it. Anyway, I tell you what, if Chelsea get 2-0, they've done all right. In the circumstances, I think they've done all right. Because it could have been a lot more. Look at that, red card, Chilwell. He's disappeared. Like Casper the Ghost. Like Patrick Swayze. I've just realised Patrick Swayze's dead. I didn't mean that like that. I'm a big fan of Dirty Dancing. And, oh, big chance for Havertz. Missed it. Typical. It wasn't even Havertz, it was Mason Mount. When I said that, it's because Chilwell looks like he's a hologram. And obviously Casper the Ghost is a ghost. And Patrick Swayze is in a film called Ghost. Whoa, my love, my darling, I've hungered for your touch. So I was talking about the film Ghost with Patrick Swayze in it, and then I remembered he's been dead a while in real life. Tragic. So, yeah, I just want to make it very clear. Well, it doesn't matter, he's dead, he's not going to be watching, is he? But at the end of the day, I wasn't taking a pop at Patrick Swayze being dead. I meant like Patrick Swayze in the film Ghost, which is a good film. I'm a big fan of Patrick Swayze. Was a bit, well, still am. You can still watch his films. There's a lot of dead people I like their films. Marlon Brando. I'm trying to think of Ray Liotta. Roadhouse was great. Lee Jacobs. That wasn't Ray Liotta. That was Patrick Swayze. Tell you what's a very good Patrick Swayze film. Also got John Wick in it. Point Break. That's a cracking film. Point Break. Robin Williams. He's dead. Callum says, yeah. Yeah. Patrick Swayze did some good films. Rest in peace. Heath Ledger. I nearly said Heath Ledger, Black Beauty. It wasn't. It was The Dark Knight, wasn't it? Black Beauty's a film about a bloody horse. Very good theme tune. Crap story. At least with Airwolf. I tell you what, if you won't know what Airwolf is, just type into YouTube Airwolf theme tune and you'll go thanks. Thanks, Goldbridge. But Black Beauty theme tune, one of the best theme tunes ever. Crap program about a horse, can't even talk. It's actually about a real horse. It doesn't talk. You know, they make it the star of the show. It could be a right arsehole. Doesn't talk. Rubbish. 2-0. 2-0 to Real Madrid. It's been a pleasure. I always enjoy the That's Football watch-alongs. I hope some of you do as well. Patrick Swayze also sang a song. You might not know it. She's like the wind next to me. I see the touch on her face. Her body close to me. That look in her eye. She's out of my league. Can't say I've ever seen that before, but you know. Absolute pleasure of a show. Really enjoyed it. Thanks everyone who subscribed, contributed. Really appreciate it. Love this community. On the road to 1 million. I'll do a quick match reaction. I won't go too hard on Lampard, but we'll put a quick match reaction on. It's still on. 2-0. I said before the game, 2-0. There's a chance. There is a chance for Chelsea, but not if you can't score goals. So I was hoping for a 3-0 game since Todd said 3-0, says Patrick. It would have been good if he'd got it the wrong way around. Thanks, everyone. She's got the wind, says Stuart. And like the wind... no, it doesn't. I was trying to think of a clever line. When I think it through, I always mess it up. Take care, everyone. Speak to you all in a bit. I'm going to put a match reaction up now.